Where I am now, better than before, through those open doors. Where I am now, where I am now, I'm getting special grace, a tender warm embrace. Where I am now. It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, where I am now. And if you'd like to see us live at WGPL 1350 Studio, all you have to do is go to Edward Everett's Facebook page or Miss Yolanda the Lady Hinton Facebook page. And guess what? You can see us live right here in WGPL 1350 Studio. And if you want to hear us all over the globe, all you have to do is go to 1400 AM or 1350 AM, and you can hear us all over the world. And now I'd like to introduce to some and present to others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. E. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Would you, could you, will you be my neighbor?
Let's welcome our neighbors, our WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
Peace 95.3 FM and WPCE 1400 AM. Good morning.
Facebook Live is on and popping. We have Mr. Phil Brown. Good morning. And Roberta Carter is on already. You all are up and popping. Let's also welcome Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. We'll shout you out later on in the show.
Like, share, subscribe, and you get a shout out.
Like, share, subscribe, and comment, and we promise you we'll shout you out later on in the show.
That's what it's all about, having a shout out.
Mr. E, what day is it today?
Today is Fun Friday.
Fun Friday.
Yeah.
We're going to have a good old time. It's the weekend, and I hope you all are ready to have a wonderful weekend laid back, hopefully after a long 9 to 5 or however you work. Maybe this is a chance for you to sit back and relax and just woosah.
What do you call a Commander fan that on his way to the couch with a battery?
Oh, what do you call him?
Philip Brown.
Oh, that is nothing but shame. Phil Brown, you gonna take that? What do you got to say? Do you have anything to say about them boys? I tell you what, we're not gonna talk about them boys today, but we're gonna talk about them on Monday for Sports Talk. Make sure you all join us back here on Monday for Sports Talk. But today, we are talking about what's in your closet. But before then, we're going to do our current job list.
That's right.
Mr. E, are you ready?
That's right. I'm ready. If I don't get to go, I want to let you know that United Postal Service and Federal Express, along with Lowe's and Home Depot, has special openings. You know, at Amazon, they have special openings for those who are looking for a job. If you're looking for a job, go down to Lowe's, Home Depot, Federal Express, United Postal Service, Amazon. If you want to stay in your home, go pick up Amazon because they got special jobs and opportunities for you. The YMCA Southampton Roads need a POC victim advocate. They need a marketing and communications coordinator. They need a road director of human resources. They need a director of development. They need a counselor one, a clinical manager, a service assistant.
And the Tidewater Arts Outreach need a program manager. Suffolk Public Library, they need a library assistant, outreach and delivery part-time. Newport News Education Foundation, they need a partnership liaison.
And Horizon Hampton Roads need a part-time assistant director, and for kids are looking for a mobile mobility mentoring posting.
Christopher Newport University, they need an advancement assistant for the arts. Bay agent, they need a operations administrator and a director.
That's right. That's right. Virginia Beach SPCA is looking for an event and campaign manager, a director of development, clinic service representative, client
Oh,
service representative.
all right, for kids education advocate, for kids controller, and an after school assistant in Suffolk, and an after school assistant in Chesapeake.
The Boy Scouts of America is looking for a district executive, and the Food Bank looking for a chief development officer.
Those are a lot of listings,
Yeah,
Mr. E, and they're already on our page. Just go to Yolanda Hinton's personal page, Edward Evans' personal page, FYI Radio Show. I believe this on LinkedIn. Or go up there and get them, share them. And if you need a job, I mean, hey, it's plenty of them.
that's right. Don't come in this year talking about you need a job. This year
Yes.
is on the day is the sixth day of this year, and you got a listing of all the jobs that if you need a job, go get a job.
Go get a job. And Mr. E gave us extra jobs. Just go out there, look, Google, ask your friends and everything. You can get something, or create your own. Who else is up here? Mr. E, I see Sheila Robbins have popped on, Roberta Carter, LaWanda Tilley. Good morning. How are you all doing? I hope you all are having a pleasant day already. The sun is out here in Hampton Roads area. It's a little nippy, but I'm hoping that it'll warm up just a little bit more today, Mr.
It's 42 degrees and sunny on the outside today, so yeah, it's gotta get warm.
Wow. So anyway, this is our Friday, Fun Friday, and we have a few things that we probably will mention about giveaways. We just want to congratulate those that have won throughout the season, but we have some other things that I just received, and I'm just going to see who's interested. Maybe our viewers, maybe they would like to have one of these gifts that I have. So we'll see a little bit later. We're going to mention that for you. But we have our show, What's in Your Closet?
That's right.
Women's issues.
Shoes,
and
shirts,
today,
pants, clothes, you name it.
Mr. E, yeah, we got everything in our closet, I assure you. But in our closets with an S.
Walk-in closets. Yeah.
But I assure you, I tell you what, today we're going to talk about boundaries. And what are boundaries? Boundaries, first of all, are, how can I put it? It's actually setting limits. That's how I see it, Mr. E, setting limits.
That's right.
And we have 10 things that we're going to share with you all today. And this is for our ladies. This is our ladies segment. Now, man, if you want to, if you feel like you want to kind of pull in some of these limitations or understand some of these boundaries, we can talk about it.
The first one, Miss Hinton, is identify. Identify boundaries. Strong
Yes.
women knew what they are on the surface and deep. They don't alter their identity to please someone, especially a love interest or any other. They don't compose when it comes to the things that make them who they are, like language, they speak, culture, and where they came from. Unique styles and food they love eating, and the activity they bring to joy. Identifying boundaries.
I love that. I am a part of a course called Unclone, and we're always talking about business and doing things unclone, and being that person, being who you are, being yourself. In 2023, Mr. E, I hear a lot of people talking about being themselves.
That's
and
right.
Not, letting people identify who they are and what they want. And so identity is definitely a boundary. Don't come over here expecting me to be like you.
That's right. And that's the whole thing about identity boundaries. What you make of me may not be me. What you take of me may not be me. Let me be me.
Belief system boundaries.
That's right. You can't make folk believe what you want them to believe. Strong women are clear about the ways they see the world. They stand by their belief and they stand strong. Whereas one is one thing and make them strong in the first place. They don't bargain with their integrity. They don't say something that don't identify with, even if it means that they be judged and criticized or threatened for their moral or religious or spiritual practice. If you don't believe it, they aren't doing that. If they don't believe, they ain't doing it, period.
I think that's where a lot of you got peer pressure and you have a lot of abuse and bullying when people are trying to take and make you either what they are or they don't want to see you as you are. God gives us all a choice. Choose this day. And so you have to choose what you're going to be, how you're going to think, how you're going to act, what you're going to do. And, somebody that's trying to cross over that line, to mold and shape you into something different. Who is a task? And I tell you what, people run into a lot of problems. Now, this is the thing, a lot of times people some of their weaknesses are the fact that they don't know how to stop people from crossing the line. I was listening to a thing on social media. Oprah Winfrey actually talked about when she first became famous, when she first had a lot of money, and she's talking about being a multimillionaire at the time. She said she didn't know how to say no to people.
That's right.
And she said she had people walking up to her door. And she said she was just giving out money because she didn't know how to say no.
And then you got people that Miss Hinton that was like Oprah don't know how to say no. Oprah don't know how to say no. But you got people that's so kind, that's so nice, and they really want to be a part of the in crowd, will give you the shirt off their back, and they really don't want to do it.
That's what she said. But she said she didn't want to live like that. And I'm saying, a lot of times people cross the line because sometimes, we're weak at certain things.
That's
She
right.
was weak at saying no. She said eventually she learned to say no when Stevie Wonder asked her to give money for some kind of benefit. And she actually mustered up enough strength to say no. And she said when she found out that he was not going to hurt her or, accuse her of not being generous, she said, oh, it's that easy.
When you start looking at your boundaries, identifying your boundaries and belief system that you have for you, it's not you being somebody else, you being you. See, there's a lot of folks who have not yet learned how to identify who they are.
Yes.
So they saw one of the strong leaders that's in their life. So what they do, they mimic after them all their life. They're walking in their shoes, they're talking in their shoes. So that identification is not who they are, it's somebody else.
Yes. Also standard boundaries. Misty, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, standard boundaries are strong, like strong women stay in their visions of life. Whether it be a vision of personal life, career, family, dynamic friendship, connection, or intimate relationship, they hold people to the same standards they live by. They don't lower their expectation or their need or so someone can match their level. Just like they won't decrease their vibes to get someone else vibe frequency. They choose their intellect and their self-respect over the presence of someone who's lacked both of them.
Wow. Also, we have emotional you have standards. We have emotional boundaries.
That's
Isn't
right.
that something?
That's
What is that? Tell us a little bit about that.
See, emotional boundaries don't allow to impact emotional state of being. When you are emotional, when you are a boundaries, you can't allow people to come into your zone.
Mm-hmm.
That's your emotions are you're acting out your emotions. Your emotions are who you are. Don't let nobody come into your boundaries when you having that emotion. when your emotions
Absolutely.
are going off.
Yeah, some people cross the line to actually, keep you in a tizzy. Some people love drama. Some people love, to come in and cross that line.
That's right.
If you're a
That's right.
person of peace, you find that there are people that like to disrupt your peace. And like you were saying, standards, you've got to keep your standards
That's
because
right. That's
people will
right.
come and try to pull away the things that you are. I really believe, Mr. E, that we have to teach our children young,
That's right.
because you're gonna have all kind of people, even children. They cross the line. They want to cross the line. They want to see how far they can go with other kids and things like that. And that's why you have the bullying and things like that. Oh, is he weak enough? Does he have, is he strong enough to say no to me wanting his money every day?
That's right.
And so we've got to teach our children that even as little ones, you got even children and some adults that will try to cross the line with children.
That's right.
And we've got to tell them, give them rules, regulations, and standards very young so they will not have people doing anything to them.
There's a cliche that says if you stand for something, you won't fall for anything.
Mhm.
Because everybody comes into your space, want to get into your space and attack your space that will take away your energy boundaries. When you
Absolutely.
look at the energy boundaries are with fiber of being. The people they choose to be around are people who have good, positive vibes. The things
Yes.
they invest in are things that motivate, inspire, and challenge them. They don't stay in the same place where they're not appreciated. They don't stay in an environment where they're not seen. And they don't stay in situations where
Mhm.
they're not supported. So
Wow.
you got to look at that energy. Energy. You got to be around
Yes.
the right people. And if you ain't around the right people, because what folks wants to do is to drain your energy.
They want to drain your energy. And the thing about it, you'll come in feeling good, and the next thing you know, you want to
In
crawl
60
out.
seconds.
You want to crawl out because the energy in the room. A person may not say anything, or people may not be saying not one word, but you'll feel the energy in
The
the room.
vibes and
And
vibes.
we always, we're either pressured to conform to other people's energy and things like that. That's why it's so important to have standards, to know ourselves, and to have that line. So you say, you ain't
That's
you're
right.
not coming over
These
here
are
with
my
that.
boundaries.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to lose my peace because you had a bad day.
That's right. So these are my boundaries. If you don't, this is my space. This belongs
That's
to
it.
me. You cannot cross the line with your nasty ways or with your low self-esteem, with your energy
Ooh.
level. You got to respect who I am. You got to look at because you might have a mental breakdown. You might be going through something. So another thing that we got to understand that mental boundaries also, Miss Hinton.
Absolutely. We also have time boundaries. Strong women don't entertain what does not entertain them.
Yeah,
They respect their time.
that's right.
Time is important. Yeah. You have to respect your time. You have to set boundaries on yourself because sometimes, your bad habits, they lead you to not be prompt. They lead you to not do things in an excellent way. And so, you don't. Some people don't have respect for time, your
That's right.
time,
That's right.
and
That's
nobody
right.
ever wait for somebody for 2 hours and they come in there look with a sandwich like, oh, y'all ready for me to come? Y'all ready? Because time is something that some people don't consider important.
That's right. Your time is not important to other folk. And here's what you got to value your time. You got to set boundaries on your time because your time means something to you. Folks
Yeah.
want you on their time, but their time doesn't motivate you. Their time doesn't move you. Their time doesn't lift you. So, sometimes you got to really look at your time to see what you can do in that course of a time span.
Absolutely. boundaries. Strong women respect their
That's
bodies.
right.
They cherish their personal space.
That's right.
And that's sometimes on in the workforce or wherever you have sexual harassment, you have all kind of things. I know we had a guest from the military, a young lady, talking about being raped and how people just think they have the will and they think they have uh, everything they need to just attack or confront you or touch you, or they just feel as though, well, your body is my body.
That's right. That's right. In other words, yours is mine, mine is yours. Whatever I want, I can get it from you, regardless of who you may be and what you may be. There's another thing, Miss Hinton, called sexual boundaries,
Mhm.
and that's having a health relationship with sex. They did not fake orgasm. They did not, okay. So we have to leave that alone. But personal
Yeah.
life boundaries is another boundary that we have to set. We have to look at. There are feelings that need to be disconnected, overshared, the repercussions of what are given and disclosed information with people who have earned their trust and their comfort level, of course. They don't mix personal with work, and they don't mix families with families.
The self-esteem queen says good morning, and she says having boundaries are essential in your with your peace, in
Yeah,
your peace,
yeah.
keeping peace. And so we see that people want to cross the line. I mean, sometimes we want to cross lines too, but I tell you, when you have a person who knows who they are, who's strong, who's aware of themselves and have been taught well, they're well rounded, they have standards,
That's
and they're
right.
like,
That's
now
right.
you can't come over here doing anything to me. I won't allow it. But then, like I was saying earlier, there are some that have not learned how to put that line, and they have not learned to be strong enough to say no.
That's
Some
right.
people are too afraid. Sometimes they're people pleasers. They don't want to offend, and so people would rather be abused and harassed rather than to say, "Look, you better get away from me with that because I'm not having it." That's something that people really need to learn.
And you got to learn that your boundaries, you know how to use your time wisely. You know how many hours in a day and what you got to accomplish. And when you take on other stuff that's in your time boundaries, so you got to learn how to work the work
Yeah.
and do what you got to do so that you can accomplish everything you set out to do in a time.
That is really true, Mr. E. So many times you're so busy doing what everybody else wants you to do. You don't have time to do self-care. You don't have time to do your work. You don't have the time to invest in the things that God has given you to do. You're so busy trying to do everybody else,
Please, everybody
pleasing
else. That's it.
everybody
That's
else.
it.
You have not set boundaries. You have not said, well, look, I can delegate 1 hour to you, but other than that, don't keep asking me to do this. I have a conversation with my daughter, and she's really a giving person, and she will go ahead and she will delegate certain time to nonprofits or projects, and then she'll say, that's it. You're not going to burn me out.
Yeah.
You're not going to cross the line and take away what I need to do for myself.
That's right. And that's what you got to be aware of. You got boundaries. You set boundaries, whether it be your personal boundaries, whether it be vibe boundaries, whether it be strong boundaries, whether it be energy boundaries. You got to learn how to set some boundaries for yourself and keep yourself together. Here's another thing that you got to understand about your boundaries. When you go into a meeting, leave your ego at the door. Don't go into in a meeting with your boundaries like this is my space. When you go into a meeting, make sure that you leave your ego so that you can understand what's going on in the meeting. And
Yes.
not just being to the point where here's another thing. It hit me so hard just a few minutes ago. There are so many folks being like somebody else.
Ooh.
When you and they don't know who they are. They have looked at this person for years and years and years and years, and because they've been around that person, act like that person, think like that person, when are you going to be you? You know,
Yes.
get off that person. That person done made what he had to do and then did what he had to do. Now you got to learn how to incorporate what you learned from them into you, like your
Yes.
mama and your dad. You got to learn how to take the good with the bad and learn how to build your own boundaries and keep on moving.
You know, that's how we can get pulled into wrong
That's right.
and wrongdoing because we have not set boundaries or we don't know how to set boundaries. You know, we can get into so many things because we don't have the standards, or we can be influenced easily, or we haven't learned to say no, or we just set up to, you know, just try to be like everybody else. And so sometimes we find ourselves being pulled in, man, come on over here. Girl, come on over here. It ain't no harm. We just going over here to this party. We just going over here and don't worry about it. You know, don't worry about what they're gonna do. Just do whatever they say. We had a guest, Mr. E, said that her cousin brought her in to a party and said, girl, just come on. Don't worry about your mama. She that day became a
Yeah.
crackhead because somebody sat there and she told her it wouldn't do her any harm to just take this substance and smoke it. And she became a crackhead for about 13 to 15
And
years.
that's something how folks can pull you in. Set your boundaries. Know how far you can go. You know, I want to say good morning to Mr. Philip Plump, Mr. Steve McCall. Good morning to you, the self-esteem queen, Miss Jewel Corporal. Good morning to you. To my good friend, Mr. Ronnie Joyner II. Good morning to you all, and thank you also to Miss Sheila Robinson. Thank you all for tuning in to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. Listen, don't forget to set your boundaries. Miss Hinton, when you set boundaries, and you got to hold that boundary to place.
Yes.
Because if you don't set enough boundaries that you have, you're gonna fall. You know,
Yes.
if your energy level, if you start feeling tired, you know, because your boundary, you don't allow
Yes.
all of your energy, then
Mhm.
zap your energy. You worked all day long, and you're taking on somebody else's mess and somebody else's mess. They're draining you of all of your energy. Set you some boundaries and
Absolutely.
keep them boundaries up. And when you feel that level going down, get you a Snicker bar or just back up and walk away.
Yes, you know, like I said, I think it starts young with our children. We have to instill in them standards. We have to, you know, have to really, really build them up. The self-esteem queen, she said, I have learned to say no,
You know,
and it be okay with my decision. It's a complete sentence and it speaks self-respect. It's something that we got to get stronger and stronger with. We have to build muscles with, you know, with our boundaries. Because I'm telling you, some of us have gotten in a lot of trouble by letting people cross over
cross
the
the line.
line of
That's
what we
right.
should. Some people don't have too many boundaries, and they find themselves in a lot of trouble for years and years and years and years. And so we're, you know, we just encouraging, especially, you know, our ladies, to make sure you think about things like physical and your belief system and physical boundaries and standards and you know, even as grown folk,
That's
even
right.
as grown women, listen to Oprah Winfrey, a multi-billionaire, just as successful as she could be, and she's saying she didn't know how to say no to people.
You know, when success folks come and people come around you, you want to be with them because you like them or you kind of admire them. You know, they got something that you like. You got the same mindset. Learn how to set yourself apart. Learn how to put distance so that you won't fall through the
Yes.
cracks. Learn how you know, to look at what you're doing. You're just important as the next person. You know, sometimes they don't think men can cry, but men have feelings just like everybody else.
Absolutely. So look, come on over here with us for a little while on social media. You all be blessed. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And we'll see you back here on Monday.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. And don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at the same time, the same station from 9:30 to 10. And have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend.
Wow. I hope you all are having a wonderful, pleasant day. You know, we're talking about women, but this will apply to anybody. Children too, setting standards, and it's something that we definitely have to teach our children. You know, when you don't teach them, you know, sometimes the gangs get them. You know, if they have low self-esteem, if they, you know, don't know right from wrong, you know, if they don't know who they are, you know, they can be swayed to do all kind of things. People can cross all kind of boundaries with them. Even as adults. Now,
That's
don't
right.
get it twisted now. Adults are sometimes not able to say no, or they have not set boundaries, or they let people, you know, sway them and pull them and have them going burnt out, tired and through. And we got to learn how to. It's something that you have to learn, because sometimes we have weaknesses, and we think we can please people by going along, you know, going along with the crowd, Mr. E.
And that's what happened to a lot of us. We go along with everybody else but ourselves. Yourself is being your self-esteem is being broken down. You can't find yourself because you're so busy doing. And here's the kicker part: when you do that, you find yourself going to the left. Where are you at? Where
Yes.
is your self-esteem? Where is your energy? Well, you're not going to be able to operate unless somebody's there to, yeah, you can do this, to coach you along, to help you along. Learn how to stand your
Yes.
grounds. Learn how
Absolutely.
to put boundaries around who you are and respect yourself. Don't sit up there and let somebody disrespect you and thinking that you got to fall in the trap. You know, they control you. No, 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 no. You control who you are. You know, you control yourself. You got to learn how to say no sometimes. It might hurt their feelings. Oh, well, they know how to tell you no. So you got to learn how to say no. And don't forget, brothers, listen to me real good. When a woman say no, it means no.
Oh my goodness, now that is the truth.
When a woman says no, it means no.
No.
You ain't got to speculate that she must be doing something totally different than what she said. She just telling you no.
It's like you were
No
saying, Mr. E,
means
about the
no.
ego.
Yeah.
The ego is saying, well, she don't mean no. You know, why would she refuse me?
Do you know? No means
No means no.
That's
Stop
right.
raping these women.
No
No
means
means no.
no. No means no. If she don't want, don't even put yourself. That means if she ain't got it, she said, no, I'm not gonna give you no money. Walk away. I'm not gonna give you a ride. Walk away. Do the best thing you can do and respect that no means no.
Absolutely. You know, I was just thinking as you were talking, I was thinking about Adam and Eve and the lack of boundaries. You know, they were given boundaries. It's like, okay, look, don't touch that. Don't do that. Don't mess with that. All right, there's the standard right there. There's the line. And you choose to ignore it. Okay. So the serpent beguiled Eve. She didn't have no daggone standard. She just let him know, okay, you know, girl, you know, don't you want to be more? Oh my God, yes. Well, I tell you what, it's not enough that you and I ain't worth 2 cents. Let's go on to Adam. Let's see if he got a standard.
Yeah.
And Adam was just as sappy as the rest of them.
That's right.
Oh,
He
well,
don't
you
know how to.
know, I know that there's a standard, but hey, why not let us all go to the party? What y'all eating? And so, okay, here, I'll take it too. Well, all right, consequences.
That's
There
right.
are consequences. And that's the reason why we can be pulled into so many things when there is lack of, you know, you don't believe in consequences, you don't have the line crossed, you are letting people influence you at every, you know, at every turn. You got some people that got folk just going, just brainwashing. And we see it time and time again, people being brainwashed, pulled in. And it's not hard to do that, especially if you are not not strengthening yourselves, your standards, and your morals, and you can end up, just being in a terrible, terrible way.
That's right. When you know who you are and whose you are, and when you listen to other folks that that tells you don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Now you got every right, just like they got every right to tell you no. You got every right to say to them no.
Mhm.
You got to learn how, like Miss Self-Esteem said, Miss Self-Esteem Queen said, also respect who when others are saying no, respect them. If
Mhm.
I don't want to do it, guess what? Let's go on about our business. Let's go and do what we got to do. Don't go away with an attitude because you've been turned
Yes,
down.
absolutely. Oh
Put a
my.
smile on your face. There, you never know what someone else has to endure or go through. You so concerned about what you need to get accomplished. You so concerned about what you need to do. These folks, you after the day is gone, you go on about your business.
And the other person burnt out, tired,
They got to
tired
suffer.
and through.
They got to suffer because they trying to please you. Listen to me. Learn how to say no. That's a great word. It's only two letters, N and O.
And yeah, just and protect yourselves, your mind, your heart, your
Yeah,
soul, your time, and everything.
that's
You've
right.
got to really do that. Look, it's a fun Friday, and we're gonna serve a little bit of tea, honey. We haven't served some tea in a few since before the holidays, Mr. E. And it is so much going on. Sometimes we want to cover certain things, and by the time we get to serving that tea, there's so much new news going on. Mr. E, what kind of tea you want to serve on
Well, I
today?
want to say, let's talk about the football player that got hurt with the Buffalo Bills. Let's go there and
Okay.
serve some tea. I was just so elated yesterday when I got the news that the
Oh
brother,
wow.
first thing he came to his mind to write down to say after he came around was to say that we win the game, But
Absolutely.
that even though he said that, I was so elated, I was so happy that he came to himself.
Absolutely. He is doing better. And we're glad because me, myself personally, Mr. E, I didn't want to hear about somebody just
That's
going
right.
going
In
to
football,
heaven,
yeah,
and young like that. We're losing so many young folk. And I just wanted it to turn out to be a really good story. Now, whether he comes back or not, I don't know. But I tell you what, I really believe that he's thankful for
that's
being
right.
able to
That's
open
right.
his eyes again and smile. And they said he's holding his family's hands, and
Well,
he's doing better.
if he ain't thankful, I'm thankful for him.
Yes,
If he's not thankful, I'm thankful for him, for
absolutely.
all that has been done. Mr. Hinton, I want to go a little further and talk about some local stuff right here in the
Ooh,
757.
Lord, what's going on?
I just want to go and talk about a preacher going down and trying to get that mess off of him.
Oh,
You know that preacher that goes around that got caught in a sting, and
no, please tell me
and he
more.
got caught in a sting, and now he's trying to get all that stuff off in him.
What kind of sting was
Well, he
this?
was in a situation of sex sting
This was
scheme.
soliciting from a minor,
Right,
right?
right, right, right. He was soliciting from a minor. Now
Did you
he's
say a pastor?
a pastor.
Okay.
Now he's trying to get his rights reinstated again.
He's trying to get things washed away, meaning no record of
No
it.
record
Even
whatsoever.
though there are how many people that have been accused of the same crime, the same sting unit did a few last year. They have been accused. They have not had their case dropped,
That's right.
and so, but he has, and he's trying to say wash it away, like it never happened.
Like it never happened.
But there is a group that is actually protesting this pastor and saying, how dare they let him go because of who he is? And he's associated with this big mega church. And they're wondering how come he
Can get away
can
with
get
it.
away with
Yeah.
it when he was caught in the act of solicitation.
They said more than a year ago. They said more than a year, more than a year after the undercover operation of the Chesterfield County results in the arrest of 17 men accused of soliciting sex from minors. And some cases are still playing out, including that Virginia Beach pastor, but the pastor was one of the three in this thing which charge was null possessed, or more commonly known as drop.
Oh wow. Well, this is it. Maybe, let's put it this way. It could be a few things. It could be who you know. Sometimes it's who you know.
And
Or
it's
it
money
could
told.
be, or it could be the favor of the Lord. Maybe who knows? Since he's a pastor, but who can tell? Who would know? This case is over with him. But he's going all the way, and make sure that y'all don't see none of that crap on his record.
That's right.
He said, "You're not gonna sit up here and keep." He can always point and say, "See, it ain't up
It
here.
ain't up here.
It's in the sea of forgetfulness."
That's right. I've been bought free.
Absolutely.
I've been set free.
Mr. E, before you go anymore with that, please make sure you put that tea on the table. Let's drink a little tea to Portsmouth. We always sipping on some Portsmouth tea.
Let me sip on that tea. I got the goggle. I got the goggle.
It's hot, but I tell you what, there's some Portsmouth tea that just have come up. Have you all heard? If you are in the chat, please let me know. Say, yes, I heard about the Portsmouth tea. And the recent firing of
listen.
our Portsmouth city manager.
When you dealing with stuff like that, they done came from being the Portsmouth sheriff, chief of police, and now they're the manager of the. They were the manager. They were the manager of Portsmouth, and now all of a sudden they've been kicked out. They've been kicked.
Yeah, what's her name? They asked her. What is it?
Chapman.
Miss Chapman. They asked her to resign.
Yeah.
And so
they fired her.
And she said, and so they just pulled her right on out of the Portsmouth. You all got a lot going for you. You got the casino getting ready to open. They are definitely developing all kind of things in Portsmouth. Now you all got to get that leadership right.
You got to get it right, because the thing that you got to remember, if you don't get that right, if thieves are in the top house, you're gonna have thieves in the what you call.
Well, we're not saying
casino.
that she's a thief, but Mr. E is saying that $80,000 gift cards is still haven't come up yet.
Listen. City Manager Tanya Chapman is one of Portsmouth City Council's first meeting of the year. Council Billy Moody made a motion near the end of the council's biannual and to say, let's get rid of her. Ask her to resign. Resign.
For what?
Resign.
What did she do?
Resign. Well, the tea is, don't nobody know what she did. It's still under the cover. Well, she was the chief of police, and they asked her to resign by annual recognition meeting to terminate Chapman's cause.
Tanya, Miss Chapman, if you want to come on and serve some tea, we are more than glad to have you come up here and let us know why you were fired.
But they did it wrong. What they did wrong, Miss Hinton, is that they began to go down and mess with the girl that was there before.
Yeah.
Messed with her, had a private meeting on her, and kicked her to the curb.
Well, Mr. E, before we go, and Mr. E is rushing me off again today. Lord, give us strength. Mr. E, what about the House of Representatives? What about the tea that's being served? What's going on? Why is it the Republicans have they gutting each other? They pulling each other apart. What is going on?
And then one had the audacity to. It was 10 counts, Miss Hinton. They had 11 counts. They looked at 11 times trying to make a decision to have someone as the speaker.
I had my tea, my popcorn, and everything sitting there looking at 11 elections, the ballot, 11 ballots, and the man couldn't win not one because of the Republicans don't know how to.
And that's what happened.
They don't know how to.
And then some of them gonna call and ask vote for Trump.
Ooh, I tell you what, it's all time to go. Mr. E is rushing me off. I could have had 15 more minutes, but I don't. But I tell you what's gonna rush me off. Somebody cooking something in here. Woo! Anyway, look, don't forget the Royal Ladies Pie. That's right, we still got the pies available. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Don't forget the book, Bullying is Right Underneath Your Nose. Don't forget Young Women Achieving Success Program. Don't forget you can be a special guest intern or sponsor with FYI. Mr. E got the T on that.
That's right. You can be a sponsor, FYI. All you have to do is give us a call at 757-714-7861 or go to Edward Everett's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda Lady Hinton's Facebook page, or email us at FYIRadioShowLive@gmail.com. Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10 right here on WGPL 1350, WPCE 1400 Peace 95.3, WMVA 88.9.
Philip Plump, Ronnie, Jonah, all you are a blessing and just as wonderful as you can be. We're going to see you back here on Monday, and you all be blessed. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. All right. See you later.
Deuces, two up.